begin with a lizard, put and beat between 10 feet of spade, and after that I have to swallow up a can you wizard it. Hand in the air and light a fire, boy, boy, boy. Hand in the air, gunshot and fire, put up, go, go, go. Hand in the air and strike a light a boy, 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 boy. Hand in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. Swear them to me now, say in this soca monarch. Tell them you ain't taking that, eh? You swear them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them diss me and me fans get hot. What? You swear them do me last year in the soca monarch. Me fans say that a wicked act. Me find something you know. You swear them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them threat me so me come to talk. This one sing, that one sing. Everything was black and white. The screen was on me, but they could have still them had on every light. How come when time for me to sing? It seems like if I have a blind. The police play me just like if them don't know what is wrong from right. Hand in the air and light a fire, boy, boy, boy. Hand in the air, gunshot and fire, put up, go, go, go. Hand in the air and strike a light a boy, 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 boy. Hand in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. I know why them treat me so. It's all because they black on me go. One thing me gotta do, let them know why the matter when I do the gas have the flow again. I know why them treat me so. It's all because they black on me go. One thing me gotta do, let them know why the matter when I do the gas have the flow again. Hand in the air and light a fire, boy, boy. Hand in the air, gunshot and fire, put up, go, go, go. Hand in the air and strike a light a boy, 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 boy. Hand in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. You swear them to me, 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 you swear them to me. Them come together, work together, then them go and plan them thing. Them do that just simple because them go one shiny man to win. Them even go further and still chop up man from up the screen. But tell them please for heaven's sake, don't let me call them Mr. Chin. Hand in the air and light a fire, boy, boy. Hand in the air, gunshot and fire, put up, go, go, go. Hand in the air and strike a light a boy, 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 boy. Hand in the air and blaze it higher, put up, go, go, go. Swear them do me last year in the soca monarch. Tell them me ain't taking that, eh? You swear them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them diss me and me fans get hot. What? You swear them do me last year in the soca monarch. Me fans say that a wicked act. Me find something you know. You swear them play me slow, slow and them cut me short. Them friend me so me come to talk. I come last already, last again. Well, last is just my position. Well, between you, my people, I don't really give a damn. What's important to me, I have to keep on moving. And I know that for sure one day I must accomplish my vision. Hand in the air like a fire, boy, boy, boy. Hand in the air, gunshot and fire, put up, go, go. Hand in the air, strike a like a boy, 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 boy. Hand in the air, I'm blaze it higher, put up, go, go. You swear them to me, you swear them to me, you swear them to me, you swear them to me. But them call me first and them put me last. But tell them I come to play me mass. Them call me first but them put me last. But tell them I come to play me mass. You swear them to me, you swear them to me, you swear them to me, you swear them to me. But them call me first and them put me last. But tell them I come to play me mass. Them call me first but them put me last. But tell them I come to. You swear them, you swear them, you swear them, you swear them, you swear them.
Who goes there?
National flag, let them know that we get right. Every country's abroad. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that we get right. Every country's abroad. Flag on the head, flag on the hand, flag on the car, flag on the van, flag on the pole, flag on the seat, flag on the table that they eat. Flag on the left, flag on the right, flag on the day, flag on the night, flag on the link, flag on ceiling, flag on the eagle that passing. Is the most flags the madman ever see. On a 32nd anniversary. When I see flags, so I hold me head and ball. I could not believe I thought was carnival. It was at 7 o'clock in the morning. Everybody started gathering, just up in the red, yellow and green down the inviting. Whether or not they hand like it or not, everybody turn up patriot, which remind me of Maurice Bishop when he won phantom. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that we need us. Every country's a ball. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that we need us. Every country's a ball. Flag on the head, flag on the hand, flag on the car, flag on the van, flag on the pole, flag on the seat, flag on the table that they eat. Flag on the left, flag on the right, flag in the day, flag on the night, flag on building, flag on ceiling, flag on vehicle that passing. Ever conscious of God we aspire, just to rebuild Spice Island,
Grenada. Despite the aid that we get from overseas, we have to work hard to fix it properly. Everyone who visit Grenada talking about how well we recover, want to use us as a formula for the disaster. Nobody they care about party, everybody care about country, so we have to bring on the power to signal unity.
Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God.
Flag on the, flag on the, flag on the, flag on the, flag on the pool, flag on the street, flag on the table, flag on the left, flag on the right, flag on the day, flag on the night, flag on the left, flag on the left, flag on the vehicles that passing. Wave your national, wave your national. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God. Wave your national, wave your national.
Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God.
Who goes there? Sweet Grenada, the land of my birth. But independence gala make me feel a what. To get it February should go down in the street. A patriotic period signaling unity. Everyone who went to the gala was wearing their national color. Guess they want the world to remember this is Grenada. Cause we are a resilient people, we are accustomed going through struggle, so we do the thing that we have to make our dream come true.
Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God.
Flag on the, flag on the, flag on the, flag on the, flag on the pool, flag on the street, flag on the table, flag on the left,
the right, day, night,
flag on the, flag on the, flag on the vehicle that passing. Wave your national, wave your national.
let them know that Grenada ever conscious.
So much people complaining about the government. I wonder why they're complaining when it's only 1 year they spent. They come in and complain to me, which I find strange, because the election victory, majority voted for change. So then I start to wonder, what is some of them seen? Why complain to this fella when they know my color is green? It seems like they don't have patience. That's the reason why. Or something quick in the conscience they just cannot satisfy. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. 13 years we in power, you was in opposition. You won with your propaganda. I really thought you had a plan. You appeal to them old people, push promise in the head. If they only vote for you, pension will be 400. So much seniors don't turn out to give you their support. Right now some of them hand to mouth because you lock the throat. $50 you increase, that's not what you promise. And if they have children overseas, you remove the name from the list. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. You looked at our youth program, you said it was not working. If they only give you a chance, you'll do some improving. You went out to them in money and made them understand. If they vote for NDC, you giving them a grand. Now you're from the government, you bring youth empowerment. All who were getting 700 right now, they're getting a cent. 7 months now they're gone home, you leaving them to roam. It seems like the Grandma promised them his grandchildren they bring it home. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Since after the election, supporters threatening me. They have a letter from madman, go home immediately. So tell my fans and the family not to worry about me. When they carry the letter, just take it easily. Don't call the radio station, don't preach victimization. Cause if you all know the madman, this youth always have a plan. If you listen to my songs and what I just tell people, one door closer the madman, another one will open. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change come to this country. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change come to this country. Oh, don't blame me, don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Lose me. Original madman single day. Charlie son and here on the mountain me, talking about my pride and integrity. It's shredded bubble and I put it back, but they want me disqualified for that. I went on radio, I went on TV, and I gave this nation a public apology. Why don't you check some artist history? Yeah, my lot of them who do what's a fix on me. They never clean up penalty. I never shove me hand below children dress. Oh no, oh no. I never try to rob little children chest. Oh no, oh no. I never fund those school children at all.
Oh, this is not politics. Please don't forget. I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. As I am that I am, I am, I am, I am.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be with you up until, well, let's say a little after the 10 o'clock hour. Yeah, I'll give you back your 10 minutes. And yes, I was in studio. I'm just making sure everything is all well. Yeah, we cooking on all cylinders tonight, all burners, everything, yeah.
And for everything.
And we still had the coal fire lighting outside.
Prime time that we address some no issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind. Make sure everything is fine.
So saying a special good night to each and every one of you joining us via the various mediums.
We won't stay at ease.
Those of you joining us via 94.9 out there in Brooklyn, We Noise Radio. A special good night to each and every one of you.
I remember.
Those of you joining us via 91.9, 91.5,
and
Real FM, Real Radio, broadcasting out there in beautiful St. Patrick. We say a special good night to you as well.
Promises we won't say a tease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll lose the strain, but you now refrain.
We have a kind of pack program for you tonight, you know.
Yellow, yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no.
Yeah, we had to talk about things tonight, you know. Yeah, a lot of things. things to talk about.
Even green gets yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with camping promise.
Yeah. We are fireside, we are stone outside, we outside oven, all kind of thing, you know, yeah. Drum pan, we cooking on everything tonight.
You now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what to go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell I ring. If we didn't know, we never know yellow would have tricked.
Good night to you, Joyce.
When you trick us,
Let me send those children to bed early. Good night to you, Zayla. Good night to you, Zoe. Good night to you, Exalia. School in the morning, bed early, right? Nice.
strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. They began with giving in and past administration, the cause of
I
frustration.
want to go through all the names tonight.
Past administration, chief of corruption.
So first of all, let me apologize for two things. On Thursday night's program, I made two errors. One was to my good friends and relatives out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I said that the activity was taking place on the Sunday when the activity really took place on the Saturday. Regardless of me making that error though, it was a massive success. I saw you all came out in your numbers out there in Carriacou. So I'd like to congratulate all of you that took the opportunity to go out there and support the new National Party and Brother Cox. All right? Yeah, I just want to say a special thank you to all of you out there in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So that was the first mistake. Yeah, I had the wrong day. Nice, yeah. It was coming to the end of a long one, so yeah, I was making
Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what to go.
Also, the other error was in relation to the press conference that was to be held by the Housing Authority of Grenada. I did say it was taking place on Friday evening. I had my information crossed, so it took place today. And we will be discussing various aspects of that press conference in a very short while. I know many of you are very interested in knowing what was said. If you didn't get the opportunity to listen, what was said, so we're going to go into that in a little while.
It is, we've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption.
Yeah, because one of the first things I really want to get into, and we're going to hold on the calls until I open the lines. So if you call, you will just realize I'm not answering, not because I don't want to answer, but because I think it's important that we go over these issues early. So we're going to be discussing, first of all, the Housing Authority of Grenada and today's press conference. Now, as we have been telling you here, it is a situation that folks have been called. They have been told that they have to pay upfront for the homes. What existed before is that we know when an individual was okayed for a home, what they would do is that they would enter into an agreement with the Housing Authority of Grenada, and over a period of years, they're given X amount of years and they pay on a monthly basis until they finish paying for that home. This administration has decided to take the approach that folks should go to their lending institution, be it the credit unions or the banks or wherever, get their loans, and then come and purchase the properties. For a one-bedroom, they're speaking $55,000 for a one-bedroom. And I think it's what, 73,000? Yes, just under 73,000 for a two-bedroom apartment. But folks have to come with their money up front and purchase this. Now, this is not something that was told previously to the people that were applying. This was not something that was known, even especially if you're looking at the folks in Carriacou who received their documentation and were getting into that agreement with the government of Grenada. They were handed their documents under then Minister Kindra Mathurin Stewart, no, Magistrate Kindra Mathurin Stewart. They had received their documents then. Those documents were recalled, and now this government is giving them a new system. And in fact, not all of them who were there seem to have gotten through. Some have gotten through, but there's some new people, it seems, as well. I'm trying to double confirm that. Yeah? But the original set of people, they did not enter into any agreement knowing that, hey, we're coming and we'll have to find this money in this space of time to pay off before we can get the apartment. In other words, you have to buy the apartment up front. All right? They didn't know that. So this administration has decided that the approach that they are going to use in relation to this issue is that they are going to be asking persons to pay upfront for the apartments. And let me just get into something here. I'm going to play something for you because I want you all to hear for yourselves. You know me, I want you to hear for yourselves what is being said in relation to the issue. So I'm going to play something here from, her name is Mrs. Giselle Charles. She is the accountant attached to the Housing Authority of Grenada. And again, let me just make it clear here. I, Sheldon, and Talking Points family, we are not attacking the staff members of the Housing Authority of Grenada. Yeah, we are not. Let me repeat. We are not attacking the staff members. They have been given a directive by their bosses, the minister and the government of Grenada, the cabinet of Grenada, has given them a directive. The minister can't do this on his own. Well, it's not supposed to, but we've heard him before that he and the prime minister has had a talk and decide what they're doing without going to cabinet with that. But we're not attacking. We're just letting you know what is being said, the directive that they were given in relation to this issue. So let's hear what is said.
Selected applicants, the financing. Selected applicants will be contacted by the authority to visit our office first to collect the notice of offer to purchase. The applicant will then be required to seek financing to confirm the purchase of the unit, or if they have the finance, they can arrange for direct purchase from HAG. I repeat, you will be required to seek financing to confirm the purchase of the unit, or you can arrange for direct purchase from HAG if your financing is available. So it means that collecting the notice of offer to purchase does not guarantee purchase of the unit. A meeting was held between the authority, the banks, and other financial institutions on September 22nd, 2023. Insurance brokers were also present, who were all on board with us with the financing process. So there is nothing for the potential homeowners to worry about. The banks are already on board. The credit unions are on board. The lending institutions and insurance brokers are already on board. We have received notification from some of these institutions that they would be providing low-cost interest rates ranging from between 3 and 5%. The loans will also be backed by and guaranteed by the Housing Authority of Grenada. So any loan that is issued by the financial institution will be guaranteed by the Housing Authority of Grenada. The insurance brokers have also expressed their interest in working with the providers of insurance to seek the most competitive rates for our prospective homeowners, because we will all agree that purchasing a home will also require you to get insurance.
So, okay, we've heard there what are the criteria for someone to be able to own one of these homes. We've heard the criteria there. Well, not the criteria, but we've heard what you have to do. Yeah? We're still waiting for the criteria that they use. I don't know. But we've heard there what they're saying needs to be done. Yes, so you come in, they call you, you get approved. After you get approved, it does not mean that you have the home yet. An offer is being made. So, an offer, you're being offered a home. You then have to take your letter and you have to go to your financial institution. So you go to one of the banks or the credit unions and you get your loan. You come back to them with cash in hand. No part payment. You can't come and say, well, look, I have 5,000, now hold that, I'll come with the rest. You can't come and say, I have 20,000, hold that, I'm going to come with the rest. You have to come with the full amount of money to purchase the apartment. When you do that, the apartment becomes yours. So we're going over carefully here because we want everyone to understand what is taking place. This was not the process that the New National Party had in place. This was not the process that was in place in relation to these homes before. It is a different process. And they say they're doing things differently. Well, this is what they're doing, right? So we've heard Ms. Charles there in relation to what is taking place. Let me see. I should have another audio here. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure that we go over this properly. Because I want, when we start having the full conversation in relation to this, we are all on the same page. All right? I just want to make sure on that we are all on the same page when we start on this one. So let me let you hear what was said by Mr. Hugh Thomas. Now, Mr. Hugh Thomas is the chairman of the board of the Housing Authority of Grenada. The Housing Authority of Grenada is a statutory body. Yeah, I usually say Massa Bull, Massa Cow. It's still part of government, but it is a statutory body. And as such, there is a board of directors. And Mr. Hugh Thomas is the chairman of that board. Let's hear what he has to say in relation to obtaining one of the houses.
So as we go down the road, we would see that ownership of the units from the start is the way to go. We would transfer into your hands over 60 an equity or wealth directly into your hands immediately as you purchase these units. We are asking people to do one of two things. Come, if you have the full amount, you could come to the Housing Authority and buy it straight from the Housing Authority. If you don't, then you will need a loan from any of the financial institutions. The Housing Authority of Grenada contacted the financial institutions before, and they are on board, and they're eager and they're willing. They are going to be offering loans. We had suggested at 3%, and it will go from maybe between 3 and 5%. But we really got the assurance from some that they would stick to the 3%. The cost of a single one-bedroom unit is $55,000. And the cost of a single two-bedroom unit is $73,000. So in the previous interview, a previous press conference that we had, we told you that the people in the low-income housing units in phase 1 paid between $135 to $400 per unit. And it varied because of the style and the type. What we are saying to you here is that if you get a loan, for the person who owns the one-bedroom unit at $55,000, at 3%, a 20-year loan is only $305 in that vicinity. And a 30-year loan would be $232. And here's the beauty of it. Traditionally, we went with loans up to 20 years, maybe 25, but now we can go to loans up to 30 years. And that gives people an opportunity to have a lower monthly cost. Imagine at less than $10 a day, you could own your own unit. So in this, let me give you the other example. For the $73,000 home, at 3%, 20 years, you'll be paying around $405. I mean, the bank have a little charges that they add on to it, but not significantly. And at 30 years, that person will be paying $308. Again, even at owning a two-bedroom unit outright, this is a wonderful deal. So you see that the price that they are paying is very similar to the price that they would have paid in the low-income unit in that range for an apartment that is better in both size and quality of build. Although the apartment is they are paying 55 and 73,000, it has been marked down by 55%. The government has marked it down by 55%. In the previous phase one, the information getting to us is that it was marked down by 50%. So the government has marked it down even further, and from what we have seen inside the apartment, it is actually built better.
All right, so we've heard now from the chairman. You're hearing what they're asking people to do in order to own one of these apartments. All right, I am still going to play some more for you in a while, but I have to say some things here first. Now, my understanding, and I think the understanding of anyone who is honest with themselves, we all as Grenadians, are that these were supposed to be low-income households. Yeah? These are people that have low incomes. Yeah? These are not people that are working for thousands upon thousands of dollars a month, who may just happen to have, I don't know what they expect some of the people who have applied to have $50-something thousand sitting there, or $70-something thousand sitting there, and they haven't used that to sort out their home or something like that yet. I don't know. Yeah? Now, when you're paying the housing authority directly, as in the people who are in phase one, that's the people who are in Mount Gay and these other areas. As far as I know, they're not paying interest. They're just paying their flat. This is what I'm paying on a monthly basis. That is it. If they're paying $250, if they're paying $400, if they're paying $500, whatever it is, once they're paying that on a monthly basis, that's it. I don't think there's any interest attached to that. If they are owing, then there may be interest applied or something like that. But I don't think there's interest applied. Now, these people now have to have the equity in the first place, not just the equity that they're going to get, but they have to have equity to go to the banks now and the credit unions in order to purchase these places. The bank is not just going to give you a loan at 3%. They're not going to do it. The Housing Authority could talk from now until when. They will still have to look at what your salary is. Yeah? They have to look at how long you've been working, where you're working. If there's a possibility that you are the type of person that doesn't stay in a job very long, you may leave, they have to look at how much they are putting themselves in danger of not getting back their money. Whether it's the credit union, whether it's the bank. So whether it's Grenville Credit Union, is Ariza, is Nexa, whoever it is, no matter what the lending institution, Republic Bank, what is this again now? ACB or something like that. I think that's the only two, and Cooperative Bank, those are the only three we have around now. Right. So no matter which institution it is, they have to understand the risk they are taking when loaning that money to an individual. Because the problem that they may end up with is that that individual, even at the cost that it is, if they are not able to pay them back, this is not the Housing Authority where you could go and negotiate with them and say, Mr. Republic Bank, I can't pay you for the next 2 or 3 months. I'm not working or anything. No, them ain't care about that. In fact, and you can't even blame the staff here in Grenada, because this bank, Republic Bank, is answering to people outside of Grenada. Because you hear people calling you from Trinidad and wherever in relation to loans. So it's not even necessarily people here who you might be able to reason with. Yeah? But yet still you're saying go and borrow from these people. What are they going to use as the collateral when they're going to borrow from these people outside of the home itself? Are these lending institutions willing to give these people the loan based on the apartment alone? And then, even if they are successful and they get these apartments or these residences, after they get them, these individuals are not only going to have to pay whatever it is he's saying, whether it's 100 and something or 400 and something, they are going to require insurance on these properties. So they have to find that money on a monthly basis as well. As it is with phase 1, I think that the housing authority has insurance that covers the properties and so on. But in this instance, people are going to have to find their insurance to cover that. And that's the insurance for your property and so. But not only that, no lending institution is going to give you that kind of money, 70-something or 50-something thousand dollars, without you having a life insurance. So you're going to have to go and find a life insurance and pay for your life insurance on a monthly basis, right? You're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to make your normal payment and you have to pay the insurance. So don't give people the impression they're just going and pay $100 and something and $10 a day. It's either you don't know what you're talking about or you are trying to tie up people's head. One or the other. Because you can't be talking about insurance, and we heard Ms. Charles talk about it. Yeah? So homeowners insurance, the monthly payments they have to go through, and you're still speaking about they're going to have to get their life insurance itself, so they're going to have to pay for that because the bank is going to make sure that that is part of the deal. So don't give the impression that these people are only going to pay $100 and something or $200 and something. That is not true. Add it to that. And I think I need to queue up this one for you to hear. Right? Let me see. Yeah, not this one, but right. I need you to hear this one by a lovely lady, Mrs. Wilkinson. Yeah, Margaret Wilkinson. She's the lawyer on behalf of the Housing Authority of Grenada. And I want you to listen carefully to what she's saying here in relation to those homes. And let me just see if I can pull it here. Right. So I want you to listen carefully, very carefully, to what she's saying here in relation to those homes.
Good afternoon, all. And we have been speaking about the whole question of giving you a unit. And when we speak of a unit, we mean a condominium unit pursuant to the Condominium Act of Grenada, which came into effect since 1978, but has not really been used. But the Housing Authority has decided, based on the construction and how they wish to dispose of these units, to use the Condominium Act. And what does that mean? The Condominium Act means that we are giving persons a freehold interest in a complex. So you own, so when you walk in and you turn your key, it is your unit. You don't have a landlord, you are now the owner. What is the benefit of having the condominium unit, having the condo unit, which is a freehold, as opposed to leasehold? You don't have a landlord. When you have leasehold property, you have a landlord and you operate on specific terms of the landlord. You breach those terms, you are out of that property. The condo unit is a little bit different. So if I may just go into a little detail, it is an individually owned residential unit in a complex of buildings. The condo owners own their units but share common spaces and amenities. So in that regard, you will share your common spaces, and that will be governed by the Homeowners Association.
All right, so you, if you're lucky enough to be able to purchase one of these properties, will be getting that property freehold. In other words, you own it. You're your own landlord. Yeah, you don't have a lease where if you break some agreement or something, somebody could say, no, you have to go. This is going, and we heard that, yeah, we hearing about freehold and leasehold because remember, we ain't forgetting what's going on with True Blue Development and the $22 million they get in US after they spend $18 million EC. We ain't forgetting that, you know. They want us to forget that. We ain't forgetting it. But we're talking about this one tonight. Yeah? So as it is right now, when you end up as the owner of one of these properties, now remember, it's not the case like people in phase 1 who are paying to own, so they're paying over a period of time, they don't have their freehold lease on the property. So you know what? The people in phase 1, those people in Mount Gay and Frequente and Sobeys and so, they are not paying property tax. But each and every one of you that are going to get these apartments now, you are going to have to pay property tax because you are getting this freehold. You own the property. The property belongs to you. And as such, you have to pay property tax. So don't give the impression that what is being done to people here, because what they opened it, just increased the tax base by 600. Yeah, when I say that, they increase the amount of people who are paying taxes, property tax, by 600. But we know the treasury kind of thing because they're traveling all the time and they need the money. But still, they just increased the tax base by 600 plus. Those are the people that are going to get those apartments. Outside of that, remember, all of us, well, not me because I ain't own property, but all of us as Grenadians will see an increase in property tax next year. Because part of what was put forward in the budget by the NDC at the end of last year was a re-evaluation process. In other words, they're going to revalue property throughout the state of Grenada. So everywhere from the top of Petit Martinique right down to Point Saline, they are revaluing property. They ain't going to revalue the property. Let me don't use the word ain't. To touch children listening, that's not a real word. But it isn't. A case where they are going to revalue your property down, they're going to revalue this property upwards. And if the price of the property goes up, the tax that you pay on it goes up as well. Because how do you calculate the taxation in relation to property tax? It's based on the value of the property itself. So all of you are going to have to pay more in property tax come 2024. They could tell me that I lie. Yeah? So ask them if they've revalued everybody's property and they dropped the value of everybody's property. Yeah? So everyone who is listening and owns property in the state of Grenada, and just remember, you have until the 31st of December to pay off. If you owe anything on your property tax, make what sacrifice you are to make and pay off by the 31st of December. Because remember, they tell you after that, they turn beasts. They're taking your property. If they have to take it, they don't mind. They're doing what they have to do. They're going to seize your property. So you've got to pay it off by the 31st of December. But you will be facing increased taxes in the year 2024, just in case you didn't realize. You see, when Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, the former Prime Minister, and he does have a press conference tomorrow. Remember, the press conference is tomorrow. All right, so you can tune in to Talking Points and all of our social media pages and so, and you definitely will be getting that press conference taking place tomorrow, right? So outside of that, Glenda, you hold on. Outside of that, right, outside of what's going on with these people in these houses, you're going to have to pay additional property taxes. And from the response that I heard from the Minister of Finance when he was being questioned after the throne speech, that doesn't seem as the only tax that you're going to be seeing anything on. Because let me explain something to you all here. Agriculture has seen a decline. They've reported that from earlier in the year. I'm sorry, I don't have the document. Agriculture has seen a decline. So as such, there is less agricultural produce going out of Grenada to bring in income into Grenada. The tourist season, usually by October, you start seeing 1 or 2 ships. From the information I've picked up thus far, the first ship we're going to see is in November. And I'm not seeing a schedule at Ram-Cram where you see 6,000 here and 4,000 there and how much people coming in. Right? I haven't seen that yet. I hope, because there are lots of people that work in the tourist industry, that changes and that we see a lot of calls scheduled for Grenada. But what I've seen so far, the first call that I'm seeing, the first ship I'm seeing is in November, early November. Haven't seen anything for October, and we just finished September and there were none. Usually September you don't get. Once in a blue moon you might get an early boat come late in September, but September you don't see anything. But definitely by the middle of October you start to see one or two, and then November, lap and cut. Haven't seen that. So it means that the income that you expect from the tourism industry, that, remember, didn't exist in 2020 and 2021 and is now starting back, right? We may not be at the same level that we have been. We may not, because cruise companies sometimes, people love Grenada, they put on additional cruises and they say, yes, we're making Grenada a stop, and so on. So we're not sure yet, right? So you already have a decline in agriculture that ain't going to get better. I'm still using that word. But because remember, look at the heat that we're having. We're not having much rain. I saw some clouds around when I was coming here. I'm hoping that we get some because the dams need it. Yeah, the water catchment areas, they need it. And the farmers themselves need it. There are areas that I'm seeing that usually I see water and they're dry. And we are in the month of October. And those areas are dry. So I'm wondering what's going to happen to the farmers, because this is supposed to be the wet season. I'm in air condition now and it's still warm. Yeah? So I'm wondering what's going to happen to the farmers when we go into the dry season. This is not a dry season. When we go into the dry season, when we don't have enough rain now. And you haven't heard the Ministry of Agriculture reaching out to farmers and saying, listen, this is what you all need to do. You need to put water tanks. We're going to help you with irrigation systems and drill wells. And no, you ain't that. Yeah? They're gallivanting and jumping plane to go all over the place. That's what they're focusing on. So forget that part of the economy for now. Right? Also with the increased temperature, as the fishermen were going on with the fish outside there. Right? So you have the tourism that we're going to have. We're already not seeing what we need to see. You have agriculture that you're not seeing where you need to see. This government has to find some money somewhere outside of CBI. So guess who? Me, you, and Mr. Tax. But we ain't know. Let me wait until budget and we go see what's going on. Let budget reach. We go see what's going on. We go see if we get in tax or no tax or what is taking place. But definitely a property tax. So back to the folks in those houses. They, unlike people in phase one, will have to pay property tax. So outside of the fee that they're going to have to pay to the bank, outside of the life insurance, outside of the property insurance, these individuals are still going to pay property tax now as well. So don't give the impression to people that what is taking place here is much better than what was taking place before. In fact, I've said it to several people over the last couple of days. I believe the approach should have been the same approach when they want to give the MP in the South and the other ministers that they gave loans. The approach should have been that same approach. You put $10-15 million in the Grenada Development Bank. Yes, people will say again, them idea again, Sheldon. Right. They should have, whether it's 15, whether it's 20, put it in the Grenada Development Bank. As a financial institution, they would have been able to manage it. Make the interest rate reasonable for people, whether you say 1.5, or you say 2, or you say 0.5, whatever it is. Because guess what? It's the same Grenadian people money. And you offer the loans to the homeowners through there for them to purchase, because we realize what they're trying to do is they want to be able to say that the Housing Authority of Grenada, their accounts looking nice, because they don't have to worry about that part of it again. Everybody pay up for those apartments. They're just thinking about the numbers. They're not thinking about the human beings who are going to be disappointed. Those people who will not be able to secure that financing due to either their age. Now you tell me there are people there who are in their 50s, may even be as late as their 60s, who have applied for these apartments. Now tell me if they're going to get a loan from any financial institution for 30 years. Even somebody in their 40s, are they going to be able to go to a financial institution such as one of the commercial banks or the credit unions and get a 30-year loan? Let's be realistic, because I realize they're talking theoretical. Let's be practical here. Who is going to be able, right, in their late 40s? Because that means you're going to be what? In your 80s? So just your late 70s by the time you finish paying? Yeah? If you're in your 60s, that means you will finish paying that loan when you're in your 90s? You think any bank going and give, where you getting that money? So these people immediately, you have to start filtering them out. And if they have the means to purchase it outright, they may have already built a place or so on. In fact, it's actually working out cheaper for some people right now to rent. Honestly, it's working out cheaper for some people to rent. I mean, you're not going to own it at the end of the day, but it's working out cheaper. Yeah? Folks, here's what we're going to do. Before we go any further, it's now 8:47, we're going to open the phone lines. 440, and we're staying on topic. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And 347-329-3101. Yeah, and what is to stop? And someone's on the line. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night. Yes, caller, good night.
Hello?
Hi, good night, caller. Go right ahead,
Yes,
you're live.
Shalom, good night.
Good night, my dear.
This thing is not low-income houses. This is high-income houses. What they leave for those people who are not working, those who don't have a job letter, and those who making a little pankwa and willing to pay the bill, what they leave people. And next thing again, I want to find out if these people and them make preparation for people, like if you have a parent, a single mother, a mother meeting a situation in an abusive situation or something like that, if they leave any houses available for that.
From what I know from when they spoke at the last press conference, they have made provisions for those sort of things, but on a temporary basis, so people will be able to stay. I think they've held back 60, I think was the number I heard, that they would be able to fire victims, for instance. You stay there for whether it's 3-4 months or 6 months or whatever, and then you move on. But they have held back some houses for those.
Okay.
Yeah? But as to your other point, though, that these are no longer low-income houses, you're absolutely correct. I believe these are now upper middle income.
Because if I don't have a permanent job, I go in and I'm doing my little thing on the side, and then I'm willing to pay my bill, and I apply for the house, and I'm willing to pay my bill, and I can go to the bank. What I'll go to the bank with? I don't have a job letter to go to the bank. How are going to work out? They don't think about that?
My friend, there is no care or concern for the poor and vulnerable among us. They said they don't like to hear those words.
Them don't like nobody.
But if they are here, they are here, they are amongst us. In some cases, they are us. And as such, we cannot ignore that they exist. But these people are ignoring that this category of people exists. Tell me, which bank is going to give a 60-year-old person, okay, retirement age is moving up slightly, right? But tell me, which banking institution is going to give a 30-year loan to somebody, let's say, who is 57 years old? That's going to finish that loan when they're somewhere in their 80s. Yeah, which banking institution is going to do that?
Well, they know nobody won't do that, so they know they have the people who they know who could have those things in place to bring to get a house in. So that's why they're doing that. They have the people to give the house in. Them plan them smart. They're working head on us, you know.
Here's something though. Because the homes are freehold, it means that if anybody wants to sell the house, they could buy it today and sell it tomorrow, you know. Once you are in, you have the house. Once you paid for it, as long as you're not in anything with the bank or so, you can sell the house the next day. It's yours.
So this is what they're doing. So they have the people who know who are going to buy it, and then they could sell it the next day.
Yeah, because it's free. It's
freehold.
freehold.
Already will own this house. They have money. They would do that.
What is to stop people from one person from purchasing the freehold from, let's say, 5 people in a level, and then deciding I'm controlling this block? Somebody with money that decides I am going to buy over the interest of these 5 people here. Yeah, and then come back and rent it out. What is to stop someone from doing that? Because remember, they're saying that there's 60%, what do you call it again? It's increased, it's in value, it's 55%. Oh boy, the word is slipping me right now. But it's worth much more than what they're selling it for. It's worth 55% more than what they're selling it for. So what is to stop somebody from saying, hey, I'll take over this, I'll pay you off, I'll own the property, and then start to rent it out and make money that way? Because they're calling it condominiums, you know, so people saying, well, we get a condominium now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Let's see what some others have to say.
Yeah, are they in it too? But that's good for some of them wicked Grenadians and them. That's good for some of them.
My goodness.
Good.
All right. Thank you so
Have a
very
good
much.
night. Take
All right,
care.
my dear. You know what? Let's hear what they had to say in relation to if you want to sell the home. Because remember, they did say it's freehold. In other words, you own it. So if you want to sell it, let's hear what they're saying if you want to sell it.
Another question I wanted to put forward is, with the bank, when persons do get the loan, if they cannot maintain that loan, does it mean that the bank would now own the unit?
Yes.
And what sort of documents would persons expect to get after purchasing the loan?
You get a title deed because it's freehold property.
Can persons sell the unit?
Yes, they can.
That's not necessarily the case in phase one as it is right now. If you have already paid off it, yeah, that's one thing you could transfer. But as it is, you can't transfer before you've paid off it. So nothing stops individuals, high net worth individuals, from coming and buying over the lease from several individuals. I've seen it happen in many countries where you have individuals who target these communities and decide that, look, I want to own that entire floor in this building. And they would then come and purchase over the lease or take over the lease or gangster the lease in some instances from 4 or 5 families that are living there and take over those properties. I've seen it happen in different places. Yeah? So you have to look out for all of these things. So the phone lines are open though. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. So remember, these people are going to have to pay property tax. They're going to have to pay insurance, both the property insurance and the life insurance. And yes, the bank ain't giving you that money unless you go and get insurance. Not only the life insurance, you know, the property insurance too, you will have to get that. That'll have to be part of the package when you're purchasing the property. And if a bank or a credit union is giving you the money, they are not going to chance putting their money into that. Something happens and they can't get back anything. Back to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Sheldon. Mr. Greenman is here.
Greenman, what's up, bro?
I did, man. I did cool. Listen, I want to make a point here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm joining on, I'm talking about Mino, right? If I have $200,000 or $200,000, and the house is $30,000, I able to buy 4 and 5 houses. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, what I'm saying here is that they have had what they claim is a selection committee. They claim they've had a selection committee. With that selection committee, they've selected different people. Now, the chairman of the housing authority says he don't know who the people on the selection committee was, eh? So we don't know what process is being used to select people. No, go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
And if so, I buy now and I decide now sell it for more. Let me say $60,000 for a house. So now I making more money and the real money. I'm making more than what I spent.
Well, my friend, if you can pay off the bank the 55,000 or the 73,000, yeah, it's up to you if you want to sell it at a higher rate. It's yours. You could do what you want with it.
Yeah, but I find that is unfair because if the house built for poor people under a cheap rate, they should give the people on them the house for a cheap rate.
But my friend, this is no longer low-income homes, and they better
Yes,
stop calling
no
it that.
longer, yes, yes, of
Low
course.
low-income homes are what people like in journalist Linda Schraker did mention that, like in Dominica, they give the people the homes. The homes were built by a foreign government to assist people, and they gave the people the homes. Yeah? But here we're seeing all sorts of obstacles being placed in the way for people to get these homes.
Well, these people can't able to do that because, I mean, this amount of money they're calling for. But anyhow, we are facing MDC costs, so everything what you do is cost. So anyhow, you take care.
All right, brother.
Later, good night, sir.
All right. Yes, indeed. 44073. Let's hear your say on this. 44073 7377 and 347-329-3101. Let's hear what you all have to say in relation to this one. Let me let you hear this question and this answer. I'm quite interested. I'd like a follow-up question on this one. And let's hear what they have to say here.
Can Mr. Hugh tell us who are the members of the selection committee for the homes?
I don't really know them, you know. I think at the time, the select committee started with the previous administration, right? And they had the criteria and all of that. When this administration came in, they took the same criteria and probably made a different set of members. I know the one of them was the previous manager of housing, was one of the people on the committee, but it was not part of the board or anything like that. So I'm not quite sure. I'd have to check the minister on something like that, because I think that was on the portfolio of the minister.
Yes, so he is, remember the person who's speaking there is the chairman of the board of the Housing Authority of Grenada. And he's claiming, you had to take his word for it, he's claiming he doesn't know who the people on the committee are. Later down, he did mention that the former manager, yes, the person who resigned within the last couple of weeks there, resigned from the job. And you could see why probably they decided to do that, but resigned from the job. Yeah? He's saying that he was one of the members of the committee. But you, for nearly a year or more, have been the chairman of the Housing Authority of Grenada, and you're trying to convince... I don't believe you, Mr. Thomas. I think you're lying. That's me. I believe you're lying. Right? What do you mean you don't know the members of the committee? The problem will be that when we hear the members of the committee, and then we see some of the people who get homes, we might be able to draw a line of connection. So you want to tell us who the people are? That is if they even had a committee. We have a caller online. Good night. Caller, you're live. Go right ahead. Hi. Hello. Caller, you're live. Okay, that person. Caller, when you call, just remember to pay attention to the phone line and not to the device that you're listening to the program on. All right, so pay attention to, you've called on the phone, talk to us on the phone, listen for us to answer on the phone, speak on the phone. Try to avoid trying to listen to us on the computer or the television or whatever, because there is a delay, and by the time you hear me saying hello and so on, I would have already hung up, because a minute or so would have passed, and we can't have a minute with nothing being said. All right, so 440-7377 and 347, and I end my overseas callers tonight. 347-329-3101. Let me hear what you all have to say in relation to this one. Yeah, let me hear what you all have to say, because I'll say it again. I believe the approach ought to have been put the money in GDB and make people go in GDB. If you want them, they could have gone in GDB and gotten what they need to get. But to do it this way, I find it disgusting, to be honest. We've got a call online. Good night.
Cheryl and Scott, good night.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night to the Grenadian people, home and abroad. Patricia, miss you, girl. Patricia Arthur Campbell, I really miss you. And Mr. Matthew, good night. Ian in Canada, good night. And my children in America and England, good night. All my friends home and abroad, good night. Cheryl, I don't understand why you are you worrying about these people, with the house and house. These people had the Grenadian people. I remember, and I just always have to say it most times I call that program and any other program. I tell you, Dr. Mitchell, good night, wherever you are. These people and them night and night upon night, these people speak to us. These people speak to us about these NDC supporters, the NDC members and them. They say, I could never forget that word. They have a track record. I'm not sorry, I, Camille Kiwiza Scott, I'm not sorry for what's going on in Grenada now. We head us too hard. A lot of NNP vote for NDC supporters. I know I overvexed, but I don't. Are you so greedy? A man tell all you go make all you prominent. They give you $2 in an envelope. All you forget all you party and go and vote for these people. So what do you get now? All you have to take it. All you have to take it. It's like when Christmas come around, foreign men, foreign women come in Grenada. All you have are you look at Grenadian man, give all you a little dollar every week. A man come and spend a big set of money for all you for one night. All you leave all your man something every week and go. When the man go back, all you end up with nothing. That was going on with a lot of us in this country there. People suffering. This is wicked people. This is wicked people. The NDC support members is wicked people. I want no part of these people. They can't do me nothing. As a Grenadian. They cannot do me nothing. I'm not no thief. I don't rob nobody. I can't write false check. So you can't do me nothing. I will never be ungrateful to the NNP party. Never. Because I know when I was in a hole, them that take me out of the Peter David, good night. This is a man that I have respect for, Mr. David, Miss Yolande, Dr. Mitchell. These people not in office, but they still not help us. It's good for all you. All you too greedy. $2 they buy all you for. $2. $2 they give all you. So I don't sorry. I don't sorry for none of all you in Grenada. And I don't want nobody to sorry for me. Dr. Keith Mitchell. Dr. Keith Mitchell. Make a sacrifice to help us in this country. And you know what somebody say? Keith Mitchell will do nothing. Keith Mitchell will do nothing. You have a man that they in Dabo. You have a man that they in Dabo. When Mr. Steele was the minister in the tongue of St. George, Mr. Steele helped that man. No. And nothing good to say. So try to tell you how ungrateful we are. We are ungrateful to the people. They should sell all you with the house too. Bad mind. All you too bad mind. NNP work. The NNP government. All around the place, most people have work. They have work. Are you dead? Bigger, you don't want him too old. Are you tired with him? He's an old man. Why you don't go? Well, I do get a young man now. Dick Michelle, shut them. God, I'm sorry for them. All you have to put all of us in that. Saturday, about 2 planting for $5. 2 planting, Mr. Scott. That growing Grenada. I bet $10 for 1 pound of tomatoes. Mr. Ledlow, good night. Captain Ledlow, good night. She that right for me when I see with tomatoes. So that I want to tell you. And we have to pay the water bill and pay the light bill. We pay tax. And they pressure in us. So much shame my own tax. Are you afraid to speak out? NNPI, are you afraid to speak? Are you afraid of us in our home? NNP. You're not afraid. You have to stand up and speak. Are you too bad myself? Just sorry for you.
All right, Cammy.
Good night.
Good night, Cammy.
I have to speak out all these Grenadians.
All right.
One man can run in a race. You die in you afraid to speak. Hey.
Cami,
Well, I don't know.
Patty
Have a
says,
good night.
Patty says good night. Patty and Matthew say good night to you. All right. Yes, indeed. All right, folks. 4407377, and we have a call online. Good night.
Good night.
Hi. Good night.
Good night. I
Yes.
just want to know how this ends and I'm feeling now with this hard time.
How? I haven't heard what you said clearly.
I'm sad. I want to know how this ends and I'm feeling now with this hard time we're facing in the now. What are giving the children to eat now? Some of them have to go by the USA and make tears to give their children.
Oh, God.
But they're foolish. They're going to vote for the wrong man. And the wrong man, they've been studying them. They've been putting food and watch them now. How they feel now?
Oh boy, it's rough, my friend. It's rough. They know definitely by now if these houses would have been given out, people would have been living in them. It would have been a totally different situation. But now, they say they're doing things different. Now, who is going to benefit? The bank's going to benefit. The banks and the credit unions. In other words, big business, people and organizations that already have money, who are going to benefit. The vulnerable people, the people who really need a house or need an apartment to stay. Those people who were depending on these homes since they were being built, who the Chinese sent it for, they will not get it. They will not have the opportunity to own one of those homes.
They're foolish.
They're going to have to pass and watch other people occupying them.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, my dear.
Bye.
44073. Let me clear the line. 4407377. Yeah, it's NDC. Let me remind all yeah, NDC. Let me see if I could pull something your way. Yeah, I think I have something there. Let me remind all you about NDC. Yeah, is this NDC, that NDC? NDC is NDC?
I work in the prison. I was a prison officer. Brother Tom Tillman and them say, what is $150? And when they get in power, they will make it $400.
Yeah, just remember, that was not NNP. We know how that turned out. 4407377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Let me see if I can get... Oh, boy, yeah, I was trying to get one on the WhatsApp. What's the matter with the WhatsApp? Yeah, I'm trying to get one on WhatsApp. But 4407377. That's 4407377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Yeah, that party breaking promises is not a new thing. You understand? Yeah, it's not a new thing. All right? Yeah, don't think it's a new thing with them. That is thing that happened a long time. All right, so let's see if we get this call online. Hello, good evening.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good night. Quite fine. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., the opposition leader will be having a press conference at 10 p.m. So we're asking people to tune on to listen to what he has to say. See, so that's all that I have to say this evening.
Okay. All right. And we have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon. Good night. Good night.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
My your boy there.
Yes, man. I realize I make out the voice long.
I know. No, my concern is this, right? I hope that the banks and the credit unions are true with the percentage that they say they would give people loan at. Because not too long ago, I had a loan at 10%, and it was a short-term loan for a few months, and it cost me a few $1,000s. So in any event, I leave that aside. I want to know if we got a gift from the People's Republic of China for this housing scheme as low-income houses, what is the category in the Grenada context of a low-income owner? So, if a low-income owner is being categorized in a certain bracket, maybe $1,500 or between $1,000 and $1,500 a month, and they have to get a housing, they have no collateral, how would they go to the bank to get a loan for $55,000 or $73,000? If that person should default on the loan, they loses the unit, the bank repossess it, and somebody else may purchase. I mean, this thing just does not make sense. And I don't know, I don't know how we could be going down that precipice with that government. I just do not understand why the people in the units are not those people who apply for the units, who was already given letters in Carriacou and other places, Corinth and so forth. Why are they not speaking out?
Well, I want them send me the letters. I want them, don't send one piece, send the whole thing. Send the letters, let me see them letters, man.
Yeah,
WhatsApp me them letters, don't worry, I will take all your name out. I wouldn't expose this all, you send it.
Oh, something has to be done, because I don't know how, I mean, from a bilateral standpoint, if you go to, if you go to one of these countries and you explain to them what is the housing situation in your country, and you would like them to give you some assistance with housing for low-income people, how can you now ask people to get the $55,000 and $75,000 when they don't even own that in a lifetime? And poor people, you take away $150 from them per month. Their children and grandchildren is not given a job. I mean, come on. I mean, these people. I mean, how their symbol could be the heart, and they're so heartless. I close my case. Your symbol is the heart, but you're heartless as a human being, NDC.
It's on the shirt. It's on the shirt.
It's a heartless administration.
It's on the shirt, not on the inside.
Not only that's what I'm saying. It's special. They have no feelings, and and our people, they marginalize you, and young people beat up their parents and grandparents. Go and vote for NBC. They go make us permanent. We will get benefits. I mean, come on, look at the benefits you are getting now. They are going to put you on the street. You do not have an income to sustain yourself, much less to get a loan. No institution going to give you a loan if you do not have collateral. I mean, that's the bottom line, Sheldon.
Well, let's see. All right, my brother. Let's see how it turns out. Yeah, let's hope for the best, because yeah, let's just hope for the best. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call, and we've got a call online. Good night. Hello, good night.
Hi, Mr. Scott. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Yes, I want to find out what is the agreement with the existing people who is already in the housing, is in the houses. I want to know what is the agreement they having for these people who is already there.
Oh, that's on Jacket Man, so.
Another thing is, NNP had built a new school in St. Mary's School. This school, and they had built a bridge in Santopi Road going on to Dongframblin. And they had also built a bridge in Gramba Estate going to a permanent farm. So we must remember these things. And Mr. Scott, I want to know what's happening with the existing people in the houses. What is the agreement? Good night.
All right, brother. No, what I could say is this, based on what was said before, what was said at the last press conference, not this press conference, but the prior press conference that was held last month. It was said that they are going to do some new arrangements, new agreements with the people who are in the homes and have defaulted on their payments. They're going to be doing some new arrangements or agreements with them. I do not know if those new agreements would end up looking like the present ones. If they're going to say to these people, well, here it is. These people have the opportunity to own theirs. So you go to the bank as well, get the money and pay us off, and then you fight up with the bank. The problem with that is that the bank, considering that these people already are defaulting when it comes to paying housing authority, wouldn't bite into that. That is a definite case. The bank will not bite into that. All right, so you're going to end up with more of a problem again when it comes to people being able to pay. All right, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. Yeah, low-income houses have been transformed into upper middle income and lower upper income, it's acting like that, lower upper income now is upper middle income homes, not even lower middle income, you know. Right now it's upper middle income homes. That is what the homes that were supposed to be going to the people who really, because let me just give you all a rundown on how this came about. But let's take this phone call first. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon, good night. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine.
Right. Concerning this loan with this housing that the government trying to...
Oh boy. Hello? Hello? Oh boy, I'm not sure what happened to that caller. Oh boy, yeah. Something happened with your caller. I'm going to give you the opportunity to call back. Call me back because I'm not sure what took place there with your phone. So I'll give you the opportunity to give me a call back. All right? Yeah, I'm going to hold a little bit and give you the opportunity to give me a call back. Remember where these houses came from. These houses are part of 2,000 houses that the people of Grenada were promised by the Chinese. And we've got a caller. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good night.
Good night. Yes, you're right side caller, you're live.
Concerning the houses, I mean, weren't they given us a grant?
Well, my friend, that is just what I was getting at.
Because I mean, well, it seems like it's turned into basically real estate. Because they like the profit, a big profit out of it. So now it's become a real estate for people. You buy it over and then you make a ton hand. Especially like they've been choosing people and you don't know who they choose and whoever. So as how you said before, you know, these set of people, they can just buy a whole set of them and turn it over and turn it into a whole big real estate scheme, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what's worrying, my friend, is that I do not believe, I believe that Mr. Hugh Thomas lied to the nation today, and that's my view. I believe he lied when he said that he does not know the members of the selection committee. Even if the selection committee was working through the Ministry of Housing, so what are you doing as chairman of the board of the Housing Authority? This is a major multi-million-dollar project, and you're telling me you don't know who the people that are selecting people to go into those homes, you don't know these people are, with the exception of one that just happens to be the manager that resigned. I don't believe he's telling the truth. That's just me.
Even all the new class that they might come out with for the people that are there so far. Some of them are the same people that have been sent home. So then how would they be able to pay? Because they are low-income people. That's the bracket they are in. So you send them home, they don't have an income, and then now you want them to go to the bank to get a loan and they don't have a job. It's like putting the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
This is not practical in terms of the people trying to get off their feet. You're just putting them in a monkey pants.
It's not good at all, my brother. It's not good at all. And you know what is happening here? Because there's a lot of heartbreak out there today, because there are many people who have not received a call. And we ain't talking about one or two. There are many people who in any normal human situation should qualify, and for some reason have not received a call, and it seems as though do not qualify. Remember, this came about after Hurricane Ivan. Grenada was diplomatically tied to Taiwan.
Right.
On changing from Taiwan to China, because as far as we're concerned, there's only one China, not Taiwan. One China, right? That's the People's Republic of China. Now, on changing, they offered Grenada several things. One, they would build a national stadium, which they did. The national stadia, not stadium, both the athletic and the cricket, they would fix both of them. That was after Ivan. They said they would do it. They've done it. They said they would give Grenada 2,000 houses. We've had phase 1. Now we've had phase 2. There ought to be a phase 3. And nowhere in the discussion today did we hear them speaking about phase 3.
So how much houses so far that we got out of the 2,000?
I can't remember the exact figure, but it's a little over 1,000 now, I should think. It's over 1,000, but it's not up to the 2,000. I think we may have another 600 or so to get, if I'm calculating correctly in my head. Somebody who knows, message me, please. Right.
So
But I
is
think
there a clause
we have a couple
when
hundred we need to get again. We should be getting again.
Is there a clause from the Chinese people when they donated these houses that, okay, that would state that it should not be sold in that, you know what I mean, in that kind of manner or whatever?
I can't say that that is the case. I do not know. What I do know is that considering that we lost a significant portion of our housing after Hurricane Ivan, the idea behind these houses were to help people who had lost houses to get houses, yeah, or other people, low-income people, yeah, to be able to get a house. And now that opportunity has been taken away from the vast majority of them, as far as I'm concerned. It's the middle-income people that are going to benefit from this, and those at the upper middle-income level. They are the ones that are going to get these houses. They were a gift from the Chinese people. And I would... You know, they would never say how they feel about what is being done, but I'm pretty sure that they're down there and they're happy. I'm pretty sure they're happy about that.
Okay, then.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they ain't happy about that at all. They would not come out and say they're diplomatic. Yeah, they would not get, or at least they should not get, and they ought not to get involved in politics in a country. So you wouldn't hear them getting involved in that. But I can tell you this. Under the last NDC administration, they were giving up houses, you know. When people in Grenada needed houses, just remember the history, you know. They were giving up houses. Yeah? They were giving up. I wonder if I could find that. Yeah, I think, yeah. Let me see if I could find that one here for you. Yeah, they were giving up houses. And, yeah, I think I could find that one for you and play it in a little while. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, nice.
Sisters, in 2008, after receiving the instrument to be your Minister for Youth, Empowerment, Sports and Culture, I did make mention to the general public in Grenada and also to the people in the diaspora that I did came upon a document that would have spoken to and gave some details on the construction, on the design and the construction of our national stadium, i.e. track and field and football. I can also recall that during that process of 2008, or during the period of 2008 to 2009, myself and the policy advisor at the time, Brother Fullerton, would have visited the Chinese ambassador on 4 different occasions with 4 different prominent secretaries to discuss the issue of the national stadium. And brothers and sisters, as the record will show, that the ambassador at the time said to us in no uncertain terms that he cannot honor what we brought forward to him because there was no signed deal on the stadium. And that was the truth then, and it is still today. So we proceed through the guidance of the cabinet, and if I may state here, there was one senator, Senator Glenwell, who was the minister responsible for housing, made mention to the cabinet of Grenada at the time in 2008 that it would have been a good idea if we asked the Chinese ambassador to defer on the housing project, and the monies that we would have saved from that, we're going to use it for the construction of the national stadium. The Chinese ambassador would have agreed to the recommendation, and we proceeded. So in a nutshell, brothers and sisters, that would have been the genesis.
So you heard that. They gave up houses. In fact, it took the New National Party to come back in to get those houses built. We had to come back in. The same stadium they couldn't get built, and they say no agreement. When we came back in, the Chinese admit, yes, we did say stadia. And Dr. Mitchell continually told Madam Wu Bokian, yes, that's the name. He continually told her, no, the agreement wasn't for a stadium. It was for stadia, an athletic and a cricket, right? And Grenada have the both now. They have the cricket and the athletic. They have both of them, yeah? And that we had agreement for some houses. Oh, you could be giving up houses in places like Grenada, where everybody need place. People need houses. You have people that living with their mother and father and want to branch out. They want to branch out. They're living downstairs or they're jamming in a room. They want an apartment and they were giving up houses. And it took the NNP to come back in 2013 to get the houses. Fine. I'm not hearing anything about a phase 3 because there are a couple hundred more houses to get. And I ain't hearing nothing. We have a call online.
Shalano,
Yes, ma'am.
the Chinese people can tell them they can't sell the houses. What are they doing there? The Chinese people, the ambassador for China,
They would not
cannot
become involved.
Tell Mr. Dixon and them they can't do that because it's free house they built for Grenada. It's a gift. Eh?
They will not they would not get involved in that.
Okay.
Even if they're upset about it, they would not get involved in it.
That is not right. Okay, then I thought they could have tell them something because they know what's going on.
Yeah, they definitely
you think
would
they
do
don't
it.
hearing about this bank and you have to go and get loan and all them kind of thing? I mean, this is not right. But we had too hard. All right.
Yes, my dear. All right. Yeah, they would not get involved. No, they will not get involved. They go watch you funny, but they would not get involved because they know these were supposed to be a gift to the people of Grenada and especially one category of people here in Grenada. But these people have just been priced out and don't look at it so alone, remember, they keep speaking about 500 houses a year. Well, we didn't see that. But 500 houses a year, they can't count the 600 under this thing and say that is the 500. That had nothing to do with them, right? But they keep saying 500 houses a year as part of a public-private partnership. Now note, these are not houses for poor people either, because this is the same process, public-private. So some private company is going to come in, or probably a bank, a financial institution, will come and say to the government, well, here, we are willing to provide funding up to X amount to build, let's say, 40 houses in this area, or 200 houses in this area, these style houses and provide the financing and so on. Once government provides the land and the utilities, the water, the light and so on into it, and government puts in those basic utilities and maybe a facility or two around there, but that they are willing to, the company is willing to put their money in. You think they're going and give that out to poor and vulnerable people in Grenada? When they're talking public-private partnership, just know the PPP, the public-private partnership, none of them P stand for poor because no poor people or no people of a lower income bracket are going to be getting in those 500 houses that they're talking about once it's this PPP arrangement. Yeah? Again, that's back to the middle class again. That's to the people with the higher salaries. That's not the people that they're struggling. The young lady that working one job in the morning, one in the evening, trying to make two ends meet. And yes, there are youths, young men and young women in Grenada doing that. They're working one job in the day, one job in the night. They're working one place in the day, they're working in the hotel sector in the night, they're doing all different things to make ends meet. And they're doing that with the hope that they might be able to own a home or something like that. And once again, that opportunity is being taken away from them. Folks, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Let me say a special good night to you, Cousin Margaret and Mulan. Yeah. Special good night to both of you. Hope that you all are having... I know you're listening. Special good night to both of you. Martin and Miss V. Yeah, I hope all are having a good night tonight. Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Cruikshank, good night to you as well. Yeah, folks, let me hear your all views in relation to this one. Yeah? Because again, this thing about, it's only going to be, they're only going to be paying 100. Stop that stupidness. That is not true. Come on, cut it out. Don't do that. Right? Because even the insurance, I don't think they're going to go and insure it at the level, because remember they're saying they're giving it at a price that is 55% less than it's actually worth. When the insurance insuring it, they ain't going and insure it at the lower level, and they're insuring it at the full level, which means you have to have coverage up to that amount, which means you have to up with the money on a monthly basis to pay for your insurance. Yeah? And if you're in your later years, you could forget the insurance thing, that is problems. You could forget the loan thing, that is problems too. Yeah? Seriously, which commercial bank is going to lend? And we ain't talk about furnishing and thing yet, you know. You ain't talk about that yet. Because to get the apartment, that to furnish it, you might want to put in your little washing machine, your fridge, you might, your little living room set, you might want your bed and them kind of thing. We ain't talk about that yet. So even if somebody goes to the bank or the credit union, they're not going there just for the money to purchase the apartment. They don't purchase the apartment and lie down on the concrete. No. They're going to want to purchase it and they're going to want to furnish it. So you're talking additional what? 10, 15, 20,000? Yeah, to be able to furnish it properly. I don't know. All you have to tell me, I don't know how much it's going to take to furnish one of those apartments, a 2-bedroom apartment or a single-bedroom apartment, but it's going to cost a couple $1,000s more. Right? So don't give people the impression they're only going to pay $100 and some. Stop it. Yeah? Stop it. Let's go to the phone line. Hello.
Hey, Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear.
How are you doing?
I'm quite fine. You're live. Go right ahead.
Right. Sheldon, let's backtrack this whole housing situation thing, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when Mr. Telesford came in, he said to us that over 3,000 people had applied for the house. It's only 100 and plus units we have, but yet still he opened it up for more people to apply. All these things at that time was a setup to keep down the poor people, the vulnerable people. Because he going there knowing and seeing the list of people that had applied under the previous government. He take away that just to give now we have to say to give the boys and them. Now we have to say that. And next thing again, I remember on NBC Heartbeat with Terry Forrest and Deacon, when he said with the development bank, the $30,000, when he was saying, oh, the people cannot go there because they have to have insurance. They have to have property, and where they getting that? No, today, look what he's doing. Look what they're doing. People have to go now that they have collateral to do what they have to do. We're getting this thing at this time. They take away money from people. They take away jobs from people. And come on, these people and them just want to keep the Grenadian people down and down and down. And you see this thing, we have to get up and talk about it elsewhere. These people are going to do things to us that are going to cause serious problems in this country. Sheldon, you have a good night.
And a good night to you as well. And let me say a special good night to you, Nurse Wendy McGuire. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. And Nimrod Olivier, good night to you as well, bro. Right, nice. To all of you, don't call Wendy between 8 and 10. Don't call. You know, I meet a lot of people in town and they tell me that, they tell people straight up, don't phone them between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Talking points on. They want to listen. We've got a call online. Good night.
Hey, good night.
Good night, brother. How are you?
Hi, there.
All right. Go right ahead, man. You're live.
That is not the best thing for the people who stay in the house and they cannot stage a demonstration.
Well, the thing is, remember, it's a situation now that they're giving people offer letters. Mm-hmm. Right? So these people, they are in a situation where they are going to be facing the bank tomorrow, this week, making appointments and that sort of thing, to try and see if they can get the money to go and get one of these homes. But then remember all the additional thing. It's not just go and get 55,000. It's not just go and get 73,000. You're talking insurance. You're talking, well, 2 sets of insurance, life and the property insurance. You're talking an increase in property tax that's coming. You're talking all these different things.
On the day of election, Dr. Keith Mitchell warned them, Grenadians, be careful what all you're doing. So they make themselves hard, so that we all have to suffer the consequences. These people and them from day one, since after 2008, is a matter of from since these people and them since 1979 to 83. Some of them is still a part of the riot continuing unit up to the day. All right.
All right, brother. I don't even think the revolution would have do that. I know definitely Uncle Gary would not do that. No, Uncle Gary would waited like people. So, let me just let you all again, because I want to come back on this particular issue. Yeah, I want to come back to this issue. So let me play this again for you.
Can Mr. Hugh tell us who are the members of the selection committee for the homes?
I don't really know them, you know. I think at the time, the select committee started with the previous administration, right? And they had the criteria and all of that. When this administration came in, they took the same criteria and probably made a different set of members. I know one of them was the previous manager of housing, was one of the people on the committee, but it was not part of the board or anything like that. So I'm not quite sure. I have to check the minister on something like that, because I think that was on the portfolio of the minister.
Now you get jittery on that question. So, because we want to know, because if we see who are the members of the committee, we want to know the members of the committee. Auntie Jenny, we know you does know how to find out thing. So, we looking forward to Simon Says on Thursday. Mosquito Man, you are here, we are finding out certain. The Prince, you are here, we are finding out. Yeah, Carl, let me find out who are the members of the committee. Now, self, I want to know how the chairman of the board ducking that question in a sense that he don't really know, he ain't sure, and he think he don't. Nah, I ain't trust that, because we want to know if we end up seeing family members or people on the committee come in and collect letters and get apartments. We want to see, because we want to know if we don't know, if we don't know who these people are, then they're safeguarding themselves by trying to hide these people. So we want to know who are the people on the committee, because we want to know. Next thing we see somebody on the committee, and we see one of the brother in one of the place and a sister in our next one, and we see our uncle get a place too. We want to know who are the members of the committee. Yes? We want to know. So either the minister or the chairman, we're pretty sure, Mr. Chairman, that you know the members of the committee are. Don't give us that one to hold. We're not stupid. Don't give us that to hold. Right? We want to know. Next thing is a political activist, so we realize that there was filtering people to get the apartments by which political party you support. Or next thing, it had no committee at all. Next thing was just ministers sending name and say, put this one and put that one and put the other one and all kind of thing. So we don't know. So, since we don't know, we would like to know who are the members, or who were the members of the committee that made the selection for the people that are going in those houses. I think it's only fair. It's only fair for clarity, yeah, and to be above board that we all know who were the members of the committee. Yeah? And don't just call one man name because you want people feel upset that, yeah, like the man that do it, no, look at me, former manager. No. Yeah? He definitely had to have a reason why he resigned the job. Yeah? Definitely had to have a reason. So let's find out who are the members of the committee. I lost that caller. Caller, give me a call back. Yeah. We need to find out. We want to know who are the members of that committee. We have a caller online. Good night. Hello.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Yeah, I'm watching this show, and I find that how everything is going right now, there are a lot of questions to be answered, and some of the members cannot answer it. Because on a serious note, they don't know what they're doing. They're not coming out with everything. This housing project thing was something that was long overdue. They already had a list before. Many people signed up. They canceled the list. They put who they want. They had qualified people who was working in this authority. They take out who they had to take out. They put people who don't even qualified. And on a serious note, right now, they're in a lot of hot water because, as well you see, prices are raising up. and they don't even considering about raising salary. Now they bring out something about salary increase on next year. And watching how this thing is budgeted, it doesn't even vary out. It don't even make any sense. And I don't know what to say, Shalon. Grenada needs help. Some of us are trying to help them, but it's on us down. People are coming out with ideas and willing to sacrifice and help out the country in all needs, come out with ideas on businesses and how to strive the country and everything. And some of them, they don't even studying people at all. They're not even willing to listen to them. They just want to just do things with favor with people. So I really and truly don't know. We need back the help, because watching the outside country right now, and I know you can see it for yourself, outside countries are way in front of us, and it's by a big margin.
Mm-hmm.
Because on a serious note, we had a meeting in Happy Hill about a couple months back. I spoke out on the farming industry, because they said, they wanted to get back up, on the farming and stop this cutlassing and come with land plowing and everything. I said, why don't y'all push this hydroponics, aquaponics, aeroponics? This thing is going worldwide, and we still going to till the ground. I say right now it's time to modernize. And do you think they even care about what I said? All they said about is we have to get back to cutlassing. Yes, we just do cutlassing, but do you think it's not a good time now to upgrade? Try to reach out and kind of run the race with the wall at the same time instead of staying behind? But they're not even studying us.
And my brother, and the figures are out, and there has been a decline in agricultural production. Maybe to listen to people like you and the suggestions you're making, we may not have been in that situation now. And with the weather that we're having now, pretty soon certain things are going to get short in supply, yeah?
No, I know this very fact. Because
people looking at the heat, they ain't thinking what coming behind it is. You're going to see a lot of food stuff will not be available.
Is that in Trinidad, all right? I'm a partner who used to be in school up here. Me and he went to school together, everything, and he's in Trinidad right now. He did school, everything down there. And could you believe that the government heard what he said? And they gave him acres of land. And you know what he's doing down there? He's doing different type of farming. He asked me, does it have a place up here where I could send up a couple produce for you, and you could just sell it, like products and stuff, just to help out the country? I say, partner man, I don't know, because to go by this person and ask for a loan, I might have to be a minister friend, I might have to be a friend of somebody in the bank, somebody in higher power, just to get something. I say right now, if I had to go for a loan, then people watching me in a kind of way. But if I somebody high in society, they don't even have to look for a pay slip or anything, they just give them. Because on a serious note, look at that. He even told me the hills in Trinidad is for business places and stuff. The flat lands where all the hotels and things is building, hotels not supposed to build there. They're supposed to in. Alright, all the flat lands and stuff supposed to be for gardening. Where we doing the gardening and things stuff? All the gardening we doing is up in the hills.
Grenada is naturally a hilly place too, so we can't help that particular one.
No,
we have some flat.
I know Grenada is a hilly place, but you have certain places that is kind of flattish in a way. And anybody that say, okay, up in chief, I want to buy that piece of land to go do maybe some poultry, some gardening, they will turn him down. But if somebody comes with some kind of thing about some car wash or some hotel or something, they quick to give them.
Well, you're correct, yeah.
You're
correct.
Because many times I talk to them about, okay, look, we could grow many things here, okay? We could grow many things here. I have grapes in my yard growing, all right? I have a raspberry bush. I have strawberries. A lot of people thought these things couldn't grow here. When they see these things growing here, I had ministers passing. I and actually seeing these things and say, hold on, these things growing here in June. And they don't even willing to listen to people. You can grow onion and potatoes here, Irish potatoes. Why you always have to be importing? Why we can't export? Look how we are with chocolate. Our chocolate is #1 in the world. They're supposed to be very happy about this thing. Our chocolate. Let we do something that could actually say, well, look, Grenada do it again. Look at Andy. I mean, I give Andy this one time. Andy willing to go for a machine that will produce coconut oil faster. I mean, the old-time ways does work, but he's willing to help out to deliver the coconut oil much faster. But some of them doesn't see it that way. Angela, if the way things are going right now, I could tell you a prognition is going to happen. That in the near few months, people are going to go more desperate. You are seeing people are looking to do robbery, breaking-ins, killing, because why? There's no work, there's no job, no money inflowing for them. Some people are doing 3 and 4 works just to sustain themselves, sustain their family. Some of them, they're dying from it. People are falling down. Look at it right now. Right now, we're in a heat crisis right now. Right now, everybody begging for the rain. If the rain don't fall, what's going to happen? Now, I start to shut off certain valves now and then because water won't be able to flow. And then look at this now. If in the next 2 years or next year come and these things keep on happening, people are going to lose faith into them. They say they're going to do certain things, but they're not doing it. You say it wasn't to throw out nobody from their position, but just because they was NMP or they voted NMP, you throw them out. For what? You find that makes sense? And the person is qualified for the work. And you take somebody who's not qualified, and you're going to throw them in. And then they're doing a whole pile of talala, and then now you're trying to get yourself out of hot water. How could you get yourself out of hot water? And that's what you did. Look at the modern day road. You know how long this road been going on?
And brother, that particular project, the Molyneux project, it is causing a lot of problems to the people of not only St. George Northwest, but all of the people living on the western coast. But it's like they don't care.
Well,
It's
I
like they
talked to
don't
them mainly on that. And I talked to them about another road. All right? There's a... Well, you know when you come up Cherry Hill, you know, right under the big hill at the stadium?
Yeah.
Majority of the time, and if you really watch the hill, you know water is coming down from that hill.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a body of water, like how they say back in the days, a spring,
Mm-hmm.
that's in the mountain. And some of the time, when water is passing through something, it will find its way and it will eat it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, majority of the times, they have slides there and they blocking off the road. Sometimes in the night, the pieces of the mountain coming down, and people have to go and come out of their bed and go and help to speed out. They sending a tractor from gravel and concrete to come and help move out them stuff, because why? You need to get the road back up and running. Some of the times, the piece of the mountain coming down. And how I said it, if one of these days somebody passing or something hard happen, this whole hill might just come down. And when it comes down, what's going on?
Problems
that
again.
Whole road is going to block, and then they had to go and find the manpower, they had to find the money, and to pay the labor. All right? You have to get machinery.
Mm-hmm.
You have people doing the modern year road. All right? Yes, hard people came to do this road. You get rid of them. You bring your own set of people. They was doing shit. No, you get rid of them, you want to bring back the person that Keith had before. And what happened now? Now they want more money. And look what's going on. Up to now, the road can't even finish up to now. So I don't understand.
My brother, I thank you so very much for your call. Make sure you call again.
No, I would always call, man. I would always call. You see, I like to lift up people, and I like to help out. But the thing is, when people saying certain things and they're not pushing their weight, trust me, things will go down. As what they say, there's only 3 people alone in NDC that's working. And Andy is only one. The one from Guav is the next one. The one from Karakou is the next one. With the rest, I doesn't see them.
The one from
doesn't hear
Guav
about
working?
Yeah, I ain't see no the rest. I ain't lying.
Boss, don't let Guav people here say that.
No man. Guav walking out, man. Guav walking out. And if them check it, if them don't walking out, killer helping them. It's true because all of them don't help one another. They one thing.
I get
a village more help a village.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Good night.
What? 4407377. That's the number for you to call and get on the inside. Yes, folks, I will stay an extra 10 minutes tonight. I will stay an extra 10 minutes tonight for you. All right, just making sure you all know. Oh, goodness, yes. I think we've got a caller. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Good night, sir. How art thou?
I'm all right for the time being.
Okay, go right ahead.
Number one, press with the press conference this afternoon. I found that the chairman or the Mr. Thomas, what you call him, was sort of fumbling when he was asked about the committee. Even when he was asked about the chairman resignation, I don't find he spoke fluently on that at all. I thought he was fumbling again.
Yeah, because I want to know who they are, eh?
Right. And personally, I think it's a very good time now for Miss Thomas to declare herself now. Because she said that everything is going to be alright with everything is going to be alright with the person that applied for the houses under her stewardship. Remember, she had actually give out houses already to the people in Karakou under her stewardship. And she said that everything will be alright. So I think she have a right now to speak out and let us know what went on. Then again, we come back the last week when they had the press conference, the Minister for Housing, Mr. Telesford, said, I don't know if you remember that, but he said that the cabinet was not informed about those decisions. So the same thing that is rolling out in, based on what he said, it was not a cabinet decision. He said he spoke to the Prime Minister, but he didn't thought it was wise. He didn't thought it was wise to bring it to the cabinet because he had told them about pieces of it already. But this new arrangement that is made there, nothing is telling us now that it's a cabinet decision. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So we seem to be in a little bit of chaos because if now the condition that you're laying out there now, a decision was taken by the housing authority and it was not sanctioned by the cabinet, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about that. So I'm not impressed at all. But again, the person that have to pay for the spots, pay for the houses, I am saying the arrangement that they're trying to make now for where they say that they want to build 500 houses. These houses will be twice times more expensive than the present houses we have now, you know. Because you remember they say that they are trying to do people that have their own lands, government will come in and assist them. You know, and if you check the cost of material and whatnot and labor, we could safely say that these houses will be much more expensive. So that's a concern that we must think of too. If they say that they're going to build 500 houses in every parish, these houses will be twice times more expensive. Just start food for thought there.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. All right. 440, as I said, I'm staying past 10. 4407377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Tonight I feel like giving people reminders. Yeah, when NDC in power and you hear the Ministry of Housing and Housing Authority and them kind of thing, Let me see how much I'll remember this one. I'm going to cut it. I wouldn't play the whole thing, but let me see how much I'll remember this one.
Can Mr. Hugh tell us who?
That's the wrong one. I put up the wrong one. So let me just get the proper one here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I had the proper one there. No. But let me take that phone call before I go to it. We've got a call online. Good night.
Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Yes, sir.
Good night. How do you do?
I'm quite fine.
It's the first time I'm calling the program, but there's always a first time.
Yes, indeed.
I saw a couple of days ago somebody posted about this low-income houses that's supposed to be a gift from China to the government of Grenada, to the people of Grenada, would have been sold. And I posted on the chat and said, you guys, get your facts straight. Because I could not have imagined that the government would sell a gift. I was on the board of Housing Authority when we got the first set of houses. And the Chinese made it clear to the government, these houses should not be sold. If you incurred expenses while the construction was going on and you want to recover those expenses, you can charge the client, the homeowner, for those expenses. But what we as a government is giving is a gift. So people should not be paying for the houses. It's a gift from the of China. I'm hearing figures of 70,000 plus for 2-bedroom and 50,000 for a 1-bedroom. Now, this is a condo, right? I need to find out if the laws of Grenada have changed with regard to mortgage and ownership. If you borrow from a bank $70,000 to buy a unit in a main structure, right? Your deed is quite different to if you have a house on the spot. It would be interesting to see how that would pan out. But what's most concerning is that prior to the elections, the NDC was after the NNP saying, you guys holding on to these houses, give it out. Give her, not sell. You guys are waiting to give it out just before election as an election gimmick. That didn't happen. When the past government said, we cannot give these houses out because they're not ready, they laughed at the reason. The NDC laughed at the reason. They said that's not true. Now they came back with the same reason. Every round, there's a different reason why the houses are not being given out. And if you heard prior to this announcement, and you notice the minister and Nikita, the chairman of the Housing Authority, made the announcement. And that's significant because they could always say that that was not sanctioned. And Clifford raised something about cabinet. Let's take note of that. Let's take note of that because that's a fallback position. If sufficient Grenadians and the NNP as the opposition party make sufficient noise, they'll have to roll his back. Because I don't understand how you can give somebody a unit. You in 4 walls, you have no wrong space. You walk out into a common walkway. Right? Our laws in Grenada, as it is currently, do not provide for ownership in a condo. It does not. So if that has changed, then it would happen. I don't know which bank would give somebody $50,000 or $70,000 to buy a space in a building. I don't know which one would do it. But what is most concerning is that this is a gift. $70,000 for blocks and space. I don't know where they get the costing from. It's supposed to be given. The last unit that the government got, the people in
Mount Gay and Subies and Frequente.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
again, just in case listeners missed it, you're speaking as a person who was on the board Before?
I was on the board of Housing Authority, yeah.
All right, go right
I
ahead.
was on the board of Housing Authority. So the first thing is that they are going against what the Chinese said. It's a gift. You don't sell a gift. So, well, the amount of licks they give the Chinese for that building, I don't know. Well, I guess governments operate different to people. Because every blame goes on the construction of the house and the material is poor. And all of these things have been said publicly. Poor workmanship, wall scaling, molds. The building is closed up for a year. What do you expect? You don't get any extra molds? But these are the reasons that are given for the houses not being distributed. No. You're telling people they have up to January, right, to go and borrow money. If they come forward with the money, they lose. They lose their chance. So whoever is listed now, you would only be able to get that house if you pay cash to the housing authority or you're going to take a loan. Good luck on the loan part.
But here's the other thing, my friend. Before you could get a loan from the credit union, in most of the credit unions, you must be a member for at least 3 months, innit?
And you have to demonstrate that you have an income.
Yeah, you must be a member.
Nobody give you a loan if you cannot demonstrate that you have an income. So the people that this house, that's why it's called low-income houses, you know. These are people who can barely make ends meet. If you borrow $50,000 from a bank and they give you 10 years, that's what the repayment would be what some of these people are earning right now per month. How would that happen? And I'm looking forward to the NNP that's in opposition to speak publicly on this matter, to show Grenadians who really care. The promises that were made have been broken one by one. But this one is blatant. And it will be interesting to see what the response of the general public would be. Last thing, Clifford talked about, I think he talked about the other houses that's supposed to be built. Now, if everything that was there, everything that's there right now was given as a gift, so if the gift costs $50,000 or $70,000, the other 500 houses that they're planning to build, how much would it cost? How much would it cost? And I could guarantee you that the 70,000 they're talking about here, somebody over a little piece of land in the back can buy some green hat from Guyana and spend less than 70,000 to get a house where they could go and stick to greener to plants to get chive and thyme and this sort of stuff because there's no space there. So Sheldon, I really hope that Grenadians would open their eyes to see, right? They took a chance. They were told, take a chance on me, on them, they took a chance. But they're seeing plainly now that these people have no regard for the vulnerable. Today somebody called me asking to define what poor and vulnerable is. Sometimes to explain to him. They're not the same. They're not one word, it's two words. There are poor people, there are vulnerable people. People who can make ends meet on a daily basis, but they're vulnerable. Because if there is an emergency, a medical emergency, they don't have the money to do it. These are vulnerable people. There are people who send their children to school. They have a job, but they need help because they're vulnerable. This government don't consider those people. So they have shown their hand again. There's more to come. Have a great night, sir.
Thank you so very much, caller.
Okay.
Your
You're
input
welcome.
was most appreciated.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yes, indeed, folks. You know what I do when I end the program? I have a video I go put up for you. But when I end the program, I want to play the video, yeah? I have 5 minutes remaining. As I told you all, I stay in the 10 minutes extra. Yes. So I have 5 minutes remaining. I know someone was trying to call while the gentleman was on, and he was a former member. I make out the voice, you know. He was a former member of the board of the Housing Authority of Grenada. And he did tell you that what people who are in the present places they're paying for, yeah, were the inputs from the government of Grenada side, right? That's what they're paying for to own the apartments and so on. But it is a gift. And in fact, that was the same thing that we had Mr. Gregory Boyne saying on Thursday night when we first got inkling of this one. Yeah, that is what we were hearing from Brother Gregory Bowen on Thursday night as well. So it confirms what he was saying. Yeah. All right. We have. Let me see. We have enough time here. I think it's time to play the little video. To give people a little reminder, a little blast from the past. You just have to remember how housing authorities and so under the NDC does operate. Yeah. So let me give you a little taste of that one.
A debate over the indiscriminate squatting comes to life again. Carol Maitland tells us about the latest case in the St. Andrew area.
Deborah Phillip and her family would soon be back in their home after a traumatic day yesterday. It was a sad moment when members of the Special Service Unit SSU demolished her house yesterday. The young mother of 6 told MTV that this is the second time she has had to put up with this bad experience.
Yesterday morning, I did home and see those guys and come and they come and break my house. And I see they come and bring out my things and they start to break down my house.
Did you get any notice?
Okay, I get it when last week, Wednesday. Last week, Wednesday, I get it for Thursday, for to break it Thursday. You can't just give a notice, say like give somebody a notice, say like to break a house, say like for 2 days, for tomorrow, that can work.
So they didn't give you any notice prior to this?
No. This is the second time my house is break. And I have to stay outside, me and my 6 children.
Family members and friends expressed their disgust with the situation.
I think that this is very sad for the community at large because it's very bad because everybody is squatting.
As a parent, it must hurt a person to see now a mother have to go and sleep in her house. And people in government don't even care nothing about the situation at hand.
But in this area, you have several houses. And we had never attacked none of the houses. But it's only this house here now. They targeting, and this is the second time this house had really broken down.
Look, all she children books wet. She's 6 children. She had to be by my niece cooking and sort of thing. I find that is really shit. Because at least they could have given her more time. You know, get somewhere to put her and let she break the house. But it's unfair. That is twice and it's a sad story.
Chairman of the Housing Authority, Stanford Simon, had this to say on the issue.
Now, this was a process that we went through. We also learned that someone was willing to give her a spot to put the house. We, Housing Authority, make available the persons who took down the structure to help her rebuild on the piece of land wherever that may be.
Yeah, folks, yeah, you want to hear Stanford. Yeah, because the bottom line is this is the way that they operate when the National Democratic Congress is in office. Because this dates back to, I believe that would be 2009, 2010, that incident took place. Remember we were speaking about that the other day on that when they went and broke the house in Mount Fan? Yeah, that was the same family that they did that to in Mount Fan. So that is the way that they operate. When they are in office, they have no care or concern about anybody, you, your children, nothing. They don't care. They do not care. And nobody could convince me otherwise because they have shown it by their actions. They have shown it by their deeds. They have shown it through their words. They have shown it in every possible way. They're trying to show you that they just do not care. So who want to go and fight battle on for them and say that they like people and they this and they nice and all, that is all your business. I'm saying it as it is. They don't like nobody but themselves. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. Yeah, on the dot. Yeah, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you to speak to and with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you. My name is Sheldon Scott. And remember, tomorrow morning from 10 a.m., Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, he will be having his press conference. Tune into Talking Points, to Dr. Mitchell's Facebook page, all over. We're going to have it on YouTube. We're going to have it on Facebook, etc. So tune in, and we're looking forward to that one tomorrow. All right? So that's from 10 a.m. All right, folks? And remember, the T-shirts are still available. Give us a buzz. Yeah. And those of you, you could send your messages to us on the WhatsApp, and I'll take the messages from there and we'll organize. All right? Nice. Beautiful. So, folks, that's all the time we have for tonight. I wonder which one are going with tonight, man. Yeah, I think, let me see what song we will stop with tonight. Yeah, now I feel I'll go end with a up tempo because yeah, you understand? Nice, yeah. Zingo, good night.
Who goes there? Who goes there? Wave the national color, wave the national flag. Let them know that we get up. Ever conscious of God. Wave the national color, wave the national flag. Let them know that we get up. Ever conscious of God. Flag on the head, flag on the hand, flag on the car, flag on the van, flag on the pole, flag on the street, flag on the table that they eat. Flag on the left, flag on the right, flag on the day, flag on the night, flag on the link, flag on the link, flag on the eagle that passing. Is the most flags the madman ever see. On a 32nd anniversary. When I see flags, so I hold me head and ball. I could not believe I thought was carnival. It was from 7 o'clock in the morning. Everybody started gathering, just up in the red, yellow, and green down the in whether or not they had like it or not, everybody turn up patriot, which remind me of Maurice Bishop when he won stand up. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that we need a ever conscious of God. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that we need a ever conscious of God. Flag on the head, flag on the hand, flag on the car, flag on the van, flag on the pole, flag on the street, flag on the table that they eat. Flag on the left, flag on the right, flag in the day, flag on the night, flag on building, flag on ceiling, flag on vehicle that passing. Ever conscious of God we aspire, just to rebuild Spice Island, Grenada. Despite the aid that we get from overseas, we have to work hard to fix it properly. Everyone who visit Grenada talking about how well we recover, want to use us as a formula for the disaster. Nobody they care about party, everybody care about country, so we have to bring on the part to signal unity. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that we need a ever conscious of God. Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that we need a ever conscious of God. Flag on the head, flag on the hand, flag on the car, flag on the van, flag on the pole, flag on the street, flag on the table that they eat. Flag on the left, flag on the right, flag on the day, flag in the night, flag on the link, flag on ceiling, flag on vehicles that passing. Wave your national, wave your national. Let them know that we need a ever conscious of God. Wave your national, wave your national. Let them know that we need a ever conscious of God. Who goes there? Sweet Grenada, the land of my birth. But independence gala make me feel a mort. To guess it for glory should go down in history. A patriotic period signaling unity. Everyone who went to the gala was wearing the national color. Guess they want the world to remember this is Grenada. Cause we are a resilient people. We are accustomed going through struggle. So we do the thing that we have to make our dream come true. Wave the national color, wave the national flag. Let them know that we need a ever conscious of God.